My name is Caleb. I'm half Ethiopian, half British. I grew up in Ethiopia till I was about 8 years old. And we grew up there because my dad had moved out there as an engineer. He'd met this beautiful Ethiopian woman and got married and had 3 wonderful children, of which I was the oldest and I had 2 younger sisters. But when I was 8 years old, something happened to our family that would change everything forever. My dad had a conference in Kenya, and on his way there, the plane that he was on was hijacked. It crashed off the coast of Madagascar, and everything was captured on camera by some holidaymakers who were filming. This footage very quickly made its way onto the news, and our family got a phone call saying, "Have you seen the news? Have you seen the news?" So we turned on the TV as a family to watch the plane that my dad was on come crashing to the ground. We didn't realize what the outcome would be or who the survivors were for a few weeks later. And so in that time of waiting, the pain, the confusion, the sense of grief was truly unfathomable. Even to this day, I feel I'm still trying to work out some of this stuff. But even in the thick of it, one of the things that that happened that I can't even explain now was this sense of peace. This peace that I can only explain as God just filled me and filled our family. We'd planned to go to the UK for education, and so my mom took us to London, and that's where we grew up after then. The thing that really I noticed on heading to London was it was very different to Ethiopia. People's faith, the faith that I'd grown up with in Ethiopia was different. I could only explain it as apathy is what I experienced. But rather than living any different, I found myself just conforming, just becoming like everybody else. And it wasn't until I was 18 years old I was forced to ask myself, do I actually believe this? Is this real? And one of the things I didn't share was when that plane went down, my dad had stood up and shared his faith in those final moments. An air hostess had survived, and she'd lived to tell us that she'd come to faith because he'd led her to faith in those final moments. And so for me growing up, this was the legacy that was left. This was what my dad had lived for and died for. And so for me, in a way, I felt like I inherited something. And so as I began to question and search, one of the things I discovered was I cannot inherit my parents' faith. I had to make a decision for myself. I had to come to a conclusion on my own. I had to decide. And so I had big questions. Why do bad things happen? Why is there death? Why did this have to happen to our family? It wasn't fair. It isn't fair. Why are there so many religions? The questions went on and on and on. But the thing that just really stood out and struck me to my core was these claims of Jesus Christ, that he came down, he walked this earth, it said. He experienced all the pain and the grief and the confusions we experience. And then he goes on to die this gruesome death on a cross. In it, he was absorbing the pain, the wrath that was deserved to us. So that if we can put our faith in him, everything changes. But he didn't just stay down, he rose again. And as I read this, I was just like, is this true? These are the claims that are in front of me. I have a choice to believe this or not. And as I decided to believe this, as I decided to put my faith in this, once again, that peace that I'd found early on in my life just returned. But it wasn't just this peace, it was this sense of purpose, this sense of there's more to life than this. The message of Jesus was give up everything. Die to yourself, like go all out. And this new sense of purpose and meaning just filled me. It was like I couldn't just exist anymore. I wasn't made to just exist anymore. I was called, I was created to thrive. I was created to dream. I was created to fail. I was created to try again. And so that feeling and sense of being able to thrive allowed me to dream. And even allowed me to return back to Ethiopia 20 years later, to work on business, to try new projects, to give new things a go. And so my life has been changed by this person of Jesus. I hope one day I can, if ever put in this situation, can display the courage that my father did. I don't know till I'm put in that position. But one thing I do know is this sense of purpose and sense of meaning has changed everything. Now, my thing to you as you sit here or listen isn't to just accept what I'm saying, but it's to explore the claims. This prayer of Jesus, are you there, is a dangerous, dangerous prayer. And I just encourage you to pray it.